All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to make a TLDR version of like the hardcore paladin leveling guide. Basically, your options as a paladin. I'm going to talk quick, and I'm going to try to make this short. All right. So as near as I can tell, you basically have three options, right? The first option is to basically do whatever the hell you want and follow somebody else's advice or follow your own advice. Usually, what that's going to look like is you're going to be a deep rep paladin with like seal of command, a two-hander, using strength stamina gear because basically you don't know any better. With other people's advice, however, they're going to advise you to like also have some stamina intellect, like offset pieces, so that you can heal in dungeons. And of course, and then of course, option two, since you already have the stamina intellect offset pieces because you've been following other people's advices, just you can take some of that stamina intellect gear and you can basically start testing my theories, right? I would highly suggest because this is another good option if you're not following the pure stamina intellect build. Like if you want to do a deep ret build, but you want to do it for hardcore, it is highly advised that somewhere between a third of your gear to 50% of your gear is stamina slash intellect gear, as opposed to strength stamina gear. And I would advise you just test that out and see what you like best. The primary reason for this is because it's a safety net for you to have more intellect on your paladin, and it's more important. You can use that intellect to judge more often in combat, so it's not exactly a DPS loss. If you're wondering why the hell stamina intellect gear is even a thing, as opposed to like strength stamina, why the hell would that be a thing? The answer to that is it takes like 7 strength to equal plus 1 point of DPS, but a 1 point of intellect will increase your mana bar by 15 points. So when this is all said and done, what it basically means is, then of course option 3, because we're going to switch over to the slide here. Option 3 is to take my many years of advice and just go pure stamina intellect gear all the way to 60. Yeah, both of them cut off somehow. I don't know how that worked. If you don't know why the stamina intellect gear is so good, basically your options are, if you're pure strength stamina gear, you will increase your paladin's DPS by a whopping 20%. But if you're stamina intellect gear, assuming equal level, you will increase your mana bar by a whopping 130%. From there, we're both talenting and gearing in such a way that we're finding ways to take that massive increase in mana battery power, basically, and finding a way to turn it into DPS. But there's a more efficient way to do it and a less efficient way to do it. We'll talk about that in a second. So if you take my advice, you're doing stamina intellect paladin all the way to 60. And what that's going to look like is at level 20, you're going to make sure that you have consecration, right? So you're going to have 11 points in the holy tree, and then 0 and everything else. You have consecration as opposed to like seal of command. You then use Seal of Righteousness rank 3 always. And the reason for this is because it has a whopping spell power ratio behind it of almost 19%. However, all the other ranks of Seal of Righteousness have like 10% spell power ratio for one-handed. And the spell power ratio is getting applied regardless of weapon speed. So very quickly, you're going to want the fastest one-handed weapon possible. You also want to use this in conjunction with max rank Seal of Crusader. So you'll run up Judge Crusader, then Seal of Righteousness rank 3, and you'll start throwing down consecrations. There's a couple ways to do it. We'll talk about that in a moment. You're going to want the fastest one-handed weapon possible because, again, it's applying the bonus spell power ratio regardless of weapon speed. You're going to want to use a shield. Hopefully that's self-explanatory. You're going to want to use rank 1 consecration almost always until level 42. Why is this? Because all the consecrations have the same spell power ratio, and we're working off of spell power ratio. It's just the most mana efficient. Just trust me on this. At level 33, you're going to want to pick up a Knightly Longsword. This is a green weapon that you can buy off the auction house fairly cheap. It is your best one-handed weapon until level 60 for leveling and beyond. I mean, the only thing that beats this is a Flurry Axe, and that's just because Flurry Axe is faster. The fact that the Knightly Longsword doesn't do a lot of damage is actually a plus when your AoE farming kicks in at level 42, because you're going to be leeching a lot of mana off of a target when you're AoE tanking, and you actually don't want them to die super fast. But we'll get to that when we get to that. That's down here. At level 42, your build changes somewhat. This entire time past level 20, you just keep putting points into prot, keep putting points into prot, keep putting points into prot, because there's all kinds of goodies in prot. And then at level 42, finally, you'll have Consecration and Blessing of Sanctuary, and this is where life becomes such a massive game changer. At level 42, your combat strategy changes from the above, which was single targets at a time, rank 3 Seal of Righteousness combined with Judgment of the Crusader. Life changes. Now you're going to pull between 3 to 4 mobs at a time. You're going to use max rank Consecration to AoE them down. You're still going to use a Knightly Longsword, but now you're going to use Seal of Wisdom and you're going to use Judgment of Wisdom. Why is this? Seal of Wisdom and Judgment of Wisdom allow you to leech mana back from your target. It has a 2/3 proc chance per weapon hit, regardless of weapon speed. So once again, you want the fastest one-handed weapon possible. That means either a Flurry Axe or a Knightly Longsword. Good luck getting a Flurry Axe. They're going to be super expensive. One of the best one-handed weapons for you as a Paladin, even in PvP, even all the way up until Nax. It is a ridiculously good weapon. Good luck getting your hands on that. But the Knightly Longsword is a really good substitute at 1.5 weapon speed and easy to get your hands on. Will give you by far the most mana and wisdom back possible. Make sure to use Mage Water. You just want to grab the nearest mage, like pay him a gold or something, and he'll give you like a full inventory of Mage Water. This way you can just chug away your Mage Water with little to no concern about the cost. Try to get your hands on a Shield Spike. The Unguro Crater will give you like a buff that you can store in your bags. Like it's like 10 minutes. It does like 10 reflect damage. Thorn's Aura. I'm actually talking so fast, I'm borderline passing out because I'm not getting enough oxygen. Let me take a drink of water here and holy crap. Breathe, my dude. All right, cool. Moving on. Now we need to look at the videos. If you want to know what this looks like, so I'm just blathering away and text on screen, but if you want to know precisely what this looks like, go watch this video here, Stamina Intellect Level Deniers, level 35. I have a Knightly Longsword. All the gear on this Paladin is Auction House Andy stuff. It is just Stamina Intellect gear picked up off the Auction House, including the weapon picked off the Auction House. I made like a... It's got Frost Oil on it currently because I just got done soloing Stitches with the Stamina Intellect Paladin build. And I got these buffs on me too because I just got done soloing Stitches. There's a video on that. But here in this video, I do a lot of showcasing of the various different kinds of pulls that you can do with a Paladin. So the first pull is, again, you run up, you Judge Crusader, you Seal of Righteousness rank 3, you throw down 1 Consecration, and you don't double Consecrate. You just, in this case, I did double Consecrate, but just to kill them as quickly as possible. So there's a double Consecration strategy, and then there's a single Consecration strategy. The only thing that'll change is like how much Spirit Tick and how much mana did you use, your kill time, yada, yada, yada. But you can see I went full Psycho on this guy with the double Consecration, and you can see my health and mana at the top isn't changing for beans. Later on in the video, I found a target that is equal to my level, this level 35 guy out here. And I actually, yeah, we're doing the same thing. We're doing the double Consecration trick. I don't even have to speed it up. This is a 20-second kill per mob at level 35. General rule of Paladin, if you're killing mobs within 30 seconds, you're good. If you're killing them over 30 seconds, it's really bad. Anything under 25 seconds, you're doing really, really good. And so a 20-second kill time on an equal level mob is absolutely terrifying, especially since we took almost no mana and no life loss. And then, of course, at the end of the video here, I decide to dive into like 7 mobs at once just to see if I can do it. And it's a hard fight, and I play it pretty badly. Don't have Seal of Wisdom yet, so I can't suck off the Wisdom or anything. But we survive anyways, so it really doesn't matter at the end here. But anyways, go watch that video if you want to. If you're really into the math on all this stuff, like our Pally Time, are you sure? I did an hour-long video like a million years ago. It's this one right here, where I basically play tested everything and talk about everything, recorded times to kill. And you can see here that we got, what's this? This is Stamina Intellect Fast Two-Hander kill times. This is strength, stamina, two-hander with seal of command kill times, like 25 second kills. And then we get the stamina intellect one-hander, but it's not the super fast knightly longsword. And you can see at 28 seconds per kill time, even at this is done at like level 24. The kill times are completely competitive.
35.
Yes. So I'm going to end the video here just to try to keep it short and sweet. And Deus Volt Boys, this is the TLDR video. This is the video you should share for anybody who's basically a non-believer or something like that. And Deus Volt. One awesome thing about the stamina intellect geared Paladin is that you have such a massive mana bar and you're still such a super Chad that
All right.
basically what's going to end up happening is you will carry your entire you'll save your friends, you'll save entire dungeon groups and everything with this build and a bunch of the other guides. When you get up into the higher levels, if you're healing dungeons, please, 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 for the love of God, put Blessing of Light on the tank and use rank 1 consecration on the tank. You'll use a mix of rank 1 and maybe max rank rank 1 flash of light and max rank flash of light. I have an entire video on why this is. Basically just know that by the time you're in Nax, you can throw out 35 mana rank 1 flashes of light that heal for like 900 plus healing, because rank 1 flash of light has the same spell power ratio behind it as all the other ranks of Flash of Light, and it gets, like at max rank, Blessing of Light says it'll increase your Flash of Light healing by 140. Yeah, that doesn't care if it's rank 1 at 35 mana or if it's like rank 6 at like 140 mana. It will increase rank 1 Flash of Light healing by 140. So basically you combine those two and it lets you keep your mana bar super high in the dungeons for when shit goes south. So when an entire extra pack of mobs gets pulled out of nowhere, rather than having a third of a mana bar left over, you end up having like 2/3 of a mana bar left over, and you can
Whatever.
easily survive such nonsense. Anyways, I'm going to do a video here, and Deus Volt Boys.